The topic of lesson 4 is psychological view of self. What is psychology? Psychology is the study of mind and behavior. It encompasses the biological influences, social pressure, and environmental factors that affect how people think, act, and feel. The self as cognitive construction. Cognitive construction is a cognitive approach that focuses on the mental process rather than the observable behavior. So now let's proceed the first psychologist, William James, and the concept of the self. William James was one of the first to postulate a theory of the self in the principle of psychology. James described two aspects of the self that he termed that I self and me self. William James said that self as having two aspects. First, we have the I self, which refers to the self that know who he or she is, thinking, acting, and feeling self. Reflect the soul of a person or what is now thought of as the mind and is called pure ego. While me self, empirical self or our experiences. Me self refers to the describing the person's personal experiences and further divided into subcategories. We have material self, social self, spiritual self. The material self consists of what belongs to a person, such as the body, family, clothes, or money. The social self marks who you are in a specific social situation. We tend to change our action, thoughts, emotion, words, and mannerism based on the current social situation or the people with whom we are interacting. The spiritual self is who we are at our core, including our personality, values, and conscience. Our spiritual self typically remains relatively stable throughout our lifetime. And Carl Rogers is American psychologist and is considered to be one of the founding father of the psychotherapy. He proposed the concept of self theory, real and ideal self concept. The real self is who we actually are. It is how we think, how we feel, look, and act. And the other hand, the ideal self is how we want to be. It is an idealized image that we have developed over time based on what we have learned and experienced. Our next one is the British American psychologist, David Lister, multiple versus unified self. The construction of multiple self varies across different rules and relationships. Coping with different self constitute a formidable task among adolescents. Multiple self refers to the different way that individuals interact with the different situations and circumstances in their lives. Unified self means of referring to the composite persona or to the self that contains all of the other personas that exist within a person's interactional style. And Donald Winnicott, true self versus false self. Winnicott suggests that the self is composed of the true self and false self. According to him, the function of the false self is to hide and protect the true self.